Everyone talks about how good these players are, but today we're doing something completely different. We're talking about their weaknesses. Because in eFootball, a card can have ridiculous stats, amazing skills, and a crazy overall rating, but there can still be one thing stopping that player from being perfect. And sometimes that weakness barely matters. Other times, it can completely change how you should use the card. So today we're going through these players one by one, looking at their biggest weaknesses and, more importantly, deciding whether those weaknesses actually matter in-game. Let's start with Luka Modrić, and his biggest weakness is probably the easiest one to identify: physicality. Modrić is only 172 centimeters, weighs 66 kilograms, and has just 73 physical contact. And yes, you can absolutely feel that against bigger midfielders. If you're trying to hold the ball with Modrić while someone like a physically dominant DMF is leaning into him, he's probably not going to win that battle. But here's the thing, I don't think this weakness ruins the card at all. Modrić isn't supposed to bully people physically. He's supposed to receive the ball, turn, find space, and distribute it. And he's ridiculous at that. 95 ball control, 90 dribbling, 99 tight possession, 100 low pass, and 97 lofted pass is an insane combination. He also has 90 balance and 91 stamina, meaning he's surprisingly difficult to knock off the ball when you're actually controlling him properly. So yes, physicality is his weakness, but if you're using Modrić correctly, you can basically play around it. Next is Cristiano Ronaldo, and honestly, I tried looking for a weakness, but I genuinely don't think this card has one that matters. His ball control is 84, dribbling is 84, and tight possession is 82. So technically those are his weakest attacking stats. But would I call them a real weakness? Not really. Ronaldo isn't supposed to play like Messi. He's a goal poacher with 97 offensive awareness, 96 finishing, 92 speed, 93 acceleration, 96 kicking power, 88 heading, and 89 physical contact. And then Konami gave him phenomenal finishing, low screamer, and bullet header, so he can score with his feet, attack crosses, and punish you from distance. The lower dribbling stats simply aren't important enough to outweigh everything else. If anything, his weakness is that he's not the type of striker you want, constantly dancing around defenders. But give him space, a good pass or a cross, and you're going to have problems. Now let's talk about Lionel Messi, because his biggest weakness is technically physical contact at 82. But honestly, I don't even know if we should call this a weakness. Messi has 102 ball control, 99 dribbling, 102 tight possession, and 96 balance, with 92 acceleration. You don't need 95 physical contact when you're that difficult to catch. If a defender gets close enough to use his physicality, you've probably already made a mistake with Messi. His whole advantage is turning quickly, keeping the ball close, and creating separation before the defender can make a challenge. So yes, 82 physical contact isn't impressive, but I think it's almost irrelevant on this version. I'd much rather have Messi with these dribbling stats than give him 95 physical contact and sacrifice what makes him special. After Messi, we have Michael Olise, and his weakness is one I actually think matters: offensive awareness. He has only 83. And this is interesting because almost everything else about the card is ridiculous. 95 ball control, 95 dribbling, 97 tight possession, 97 low pass, 94 lofted pass, 91 speed, and 92 acceleration. He's an incredible technical player and an amazing creator. But when you're using an attacking midfielder, you also want that player to understand where the dangerous spaces are. With 83 offensive awareness, Olise isn't going to make the same intelligent attacking movements as someone with 90+ awareness. So you might sometimes find him sitting slightly deeper or not making the run you expected. It's not a deal breaker, but compared to the rest of his stats, it's definitely noticeable. Then we have James Rodríguez, and his biggest weakness is speed. His 85 speed isn't terrible, especially because he has 94 acceleration. But in today's eFootball meta, you definitely notice when an attacker doesn't have elite top-end pace. Rodríguez isn't the guy you're going to send on a 40-yard run behind the defense. That's simply not his game. But honestly, I think that's fine because he's more of a technical creator. 98 ball control, 92 dribbling, 97 tight possession, 92 low pass, 94 lofted pass, 93 curl, and 95 kicking power is a ridiculous creative package. Then you add blitz curler and edged crossing, and suddenly you have a player who can create chances in multiple ways. So speed is definitely the weakness, but it's a weakness you can manage by keeping him involved in build-up, rather than expecting him to constantly outrun defenders. Now we get to Neymar, and this one might surprise some people because his biggest weakness is actually finishing. Neymar has just 84 finishing, which is strange when you look at everything else. We're talking about a player with 98 ball control, 98 dribbling, 98 tight possession, 97 balance, and 98 acceleration. He can basically glide around the pitch. But once he gets into the box, You might notice that he doesn't have the same clinical finishing as an elite CF, and that matters because Neymar's ability to create chances is so good that you're going to get plenty of shooting opportunities with him. His 94 kicking power helps, and blitz curler gives him another way to score, but there will still be moments where you think, how did he miss that? That's the trade-off. Neymar is one of the best creators and dribblers here, but he's not a clinical striker. Then we have Kevin De Bruyne, and once again, I honestly don't think he has a weakness that matters for his role. His heading is only 48, and his jump is just 52, but who cares? This is an AMF. I'm not putting De Bruyne up against a 190-centimeter center back for a header. His actual strengths are exactly what you'd want from him. 93 ball control, 91 dribbling, 93 tight possession, 97 low pass, 97 lofted pass, 94 kicking power, and 91 curl. And then he has visionary pass and low screamer. He's basically built to create chances and threaten from outside the box. If anything, the only thing I would call a minor weakness is that he's not the most physically dominant midfielder with 76 physical contact, but again, that's not something I'd worry about. Finally, we have Jude Bellingham, and this might be the hardest card to find a real weakness on. He's got 93 speed, 90 acceleration, 93 dribbling, 94 tight possession, 92 low pass, 88 finishing, 84 physical contact, and 95 stamina. He's 186 centimeters tall, plays as a hole player, and can basically cover the pitch for the entire match. If I had to choose something, I'd probably say his curl at 73 and place kicking at 68 are his biggest weaknesses. He's not the player I'm choosing when I need a finesse shot from outside the box or a dangerous free kick. His heading is also only 66, so despite his height, he's not exactly an aerial specialist. But realistically, those weaknesses don't hurt the way you're going to use him. Bellingham's job is to make runs, carry the ball, link play, and contribute in attack. And he's extremely good at all of that. And that's actually the biggest lesson from all of these cards. A weakness doesn't automatically make a player bad. You have to look at the weakness in the context of the player's role. Modrić isn't physically strong, but he doesn't need to be. Messi isn't physically dominant, but he's so quick and technically gifted that defenders struggle to even touch him. Rodríguez isn't fast, but he's an elite creator. Neymar isn't a clinical finisher, but he can create chances almost by himself. De Bruyne can't jump, but nobody is signing him to win aerial battles. And Bellingham doesn't have great curl, but he gives you almost everything else you need from a modern attacking midfielder.